Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Everybody throws a Keitech. I'm here at Angler International Resources, and we were talking about throwing Keitechs, and I learned something today that I didn't know before I walked in the door. I said, okay, let me get the camera out. We're going to shoot a video. We're going to teach you something that I bet you were not aware of when it comes to throwing a Keitech. And it's going to be time pretty soon where we're going to be throwing those swim baits. So stick around, guys. You're going to want to hear this. You're going to learn something today at Angler International Resources here on Mark Fisher Outdoors. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to MFO, everybody. I'm Mark Fisher.
I'm Matthew Qualich.
Matthew, good to have you back.
Yeah,
I think this is your third run here on
Yeah.
Mark Fisher Outdoors.
Great to be here.
You're going to start charging me money.
I have to.
So listen, guys, like I said, everybody throws the Keitech swim baits, and they're awesome. I mean, you can use them behind a swim jig. You can use them. You can use them on a trailer for just about anything. I know guys who throw them behind chatterbaits, things like that. But one of my favorite techniques is to just literally put it on a jig head and throw them just as a swim bait, moving that. And quite honestly, we're going to talk about this. The new tush hook is the best way to throw them. We'll get to that in a minute. But there's a difference between Keitech swim baits. All right, I'm all ears. Teach me.
So we've got like your most traditional Keitech, a swing impact, and this is the swing impact, and we got the swing impact fat. And looking at it, there's not that much different. They're both ribbed. They're both the soft Keitech that we all know, and
Pretty much the same length.
the same. But I will say, with this regular swing impact, you got a really thin body, really thin tail, and that the kick you get out of that is a lot different than you get out of the fat. Where in that regular one, you're getting more of a tail kick, kind of like if you just had any straight tail.
Yeah, just kind of the tail
Just like that. Whereas you see with the fat, because you got all that weight in the body, you end up getting a more wobbly back and forward, like dramatic kick. And there's definitely a lot of different utilizations for those differences.
So let's talk about that for a sec. Well, before we get into what the applications are with that, I just learned about this now. So what we're going to do is we're going to put we're going to take these two baits and we're going to put these in the pool and we're going to take a look and show you how these baits are different. So it's one thing to teach you about it, but then we're going to get it in the pool. We're going to kind of actually show it to you so that you can see the difference in these two baits. Congratulations. You not only moved to your third Mark Fisher Outdoors, but you made it to Underwater Wednesday. There you go. All right. What I wanted to get to, so I think a lot of people just feel like the big difference between those is the fat impact is a bigger body, so it adds more bulk. So if you're adding it to your swim jig or something like that, you're adding bulk to your, and it does, but it's also changing the tail action completely. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
So now get into where are the applications where I would guess that 90% of the guys are throwing the fat impact. Give me the application where maybe you want to not throw that fat impact and you want to throw
the skinnier one.
The skinnier one.
Yeah. So I'd say 100% like colder water, you're going to want the less erratic bait. It's just, it's slower metabolism on the bass, slower metabolism on the bait.
Right.
Slower movement.
And my opinion is that that's twofold. One is big erratic motion is in that kind of situation is just not going to trigger them, number one.
Much,
Nor does it look natural. If in the cold water, nothing's moving fast, nothing's moving a lot. So you got something like that, it doesn't look like everything else that's in the water. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, exactly.
And so in a colder water situation, you would probably go to the thinner bait versus the big wide wobble, which probably any situation in warm water, during the bulk of the year, where you might want to be using the thinner model.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has those finesse applications. Maybe you're going for some deep summer smallmouth, something like that, where you might want to take a more finesse approach to those pressured fish.
That's kind of where I was going. Is if the fish are pressured and you want to get a little bit of a different type of an action, that may be the way to go with that. I know that throwing it on a jig head that's what I used to do all the time. But since Core Tackle has come out with the tush, by the way, you know what tush stands
Yeah,
for?
the ultimate swim bait hook.
The ultimate swim bait hook, right? So since they've come out with the tush, that is the swim bait hook that I use now for my Keitechs, because you talked about that wobble and that big wide tail action. This tush hook actually enhances that wobble. The body starts to wobble because that internal weight that the Core Tackle hook has. And then there's one more benefit that the tush swim bait hook has to a standard swim bait hook, and that is that when you have your Keitech and you've got a standard swim bait head out here with the lead head, if you kill the bait, what happens?
Just dives nose
Just
down.
dives nose down. Totally unrealistic.
Yeah, it's not
No fish swims straight down like that, right? You kill the bait with a tush hook and it starts to glide down. Tail still kick in, but it kind of moves in a horizontal fashion, which gives you a whole new way of fishing this bait. You're reeling it in, kill it, it starts, and then pop it back up, and it starts to swim back up. That's what triggers those fish. It's certainly much different than what we've had in the past, where it's swimming, goes, and then it kind of pulls back up. This is a cool thing. I'm looking forward to getting in the pool and taking a look at these differences. As always, Matthew, I appreciate you kind of teaching us something with this. Guys, don't forget, any of these products that we're talking about, they're available at Anglers International Resources. Use our discount code MFO10. You get a 10% discount. If you're not in the area, make sure that you use fishinggurus.com. Fishinggurus.com. You still put that MFO10 discount code. You get 10% off. We hope you enjoyed the content. If so, please, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up. Send us your comments. We would appreciate that. And we will have another episode coming out tomorrow on Mark Fisher Outdoors. Take care, everybody.